Monday. It's Madison with Restorative. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for being here. I still want to talk about change a little bit, probably a lot of it, because it's just always consistent. Change is always happening around us. And there's even a thing about it too that says, it takes about 2 to 4 weeks for you to notice a difference once you've made a change, and then about 4 to 6 weeks before your super close personal friends will notice that you've made or something's changed in you, and then that 6 to 8 weeks and beyond, the whole world can't help but notice there's been a change. So I wanted to touch on that because I think it's so important to know that when changes are taking place or you're growing through a change, don't expect it to be so quick or happen so fast that everybody's like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Or that you're like that. It's gradual. You could even say so much as if you plant a seed in the dirt or soil, you're not digging it up every day to see if it's sprouting. You're really just knowing that, or hoping, your faith, you're hoping that you did everything you're ingrained to know to do to plant that seed, to have it grow, that the elements around will join forces to make sure that it grows to its fullest potential. So that's something to really remember. Now I'll give you, this is kind of funny, I'll give you an example of growing through change and realizing that it's just definitely not, especially the beginnings of change, and I've talked about that with the lobster story and such in another video, but this one is really recent for me, and I want to make, for as long as I can remember, I've used degree deodorant or clinical strength, clinical protection, just to be oh, it's so safe, not sweating and being gross. Just thinking, over the last couple of months or what have you, I switched over to, prior to that, I tried over to do something with aluminum free or whatever, but I would give up immediately because I'd be like, this is not working. I have way too much going on. So I ordered the loom, and they had this jasmine rose smell, and I'm all into that beautiful foofy smell stuff. First weeks of using it, talk about uncomfortable zones. I was like, I really almost wrote the company, what are you doing? This is awful. This is not helping me at all. I'm sweaty, I smell bad, nothing's working here. I just felt well, now it's no problem, and it works wonderful, and I don't even sweat that much, and it's where when I do, it's not bad. But you know what I realized? Oh my gosh, no. It was from years and years and years and years of just clinical protection, extra strength, whatever, probably forcing all the sweat and toxins and everything that my body was trying to naturally, I'm stop touching it, I'm superstar. But probably all the things naturally that my body was trying to get rid of because it didn't belong, the degree or whatever, I don't want to get in trouble, but the extra clinical protection stuff was just saying, nope, stay in here, you're not allowed to come out. So that created its own ecosystem dysfunction, and so the change to change that, the way that all was going, it doesn't always smell better or feel better. It was really uncomfortable. There's a societal note of it, but me making the change to think that, no, this could be better, this should be different, or there's a different way. Of course, most of us are using shampoos and conditioners without the parabens and all the stuff that gums up the works. We're working towards it, and that's a big deal too. Everything that we do working towards making our situation, ourself, our body, our internal ecosystems better, that is all counting towards our better potential. So just remember that, right? Like when you're changing, it takes time. It takes change and uncomfortability. It's sometimes sneaky stuff. Like, and it's funny too, because I did talk a couple of my close friends about my deodorant changes, and a couple of them were like, I don't even wear deodorant anymore. But wow, what a spectrum to go from, right? From clinical extra protection to like, oh, I don't even wear it, or I use something so natural that's just like just this little thing. And then once I get to probably next week's video where I'm talking about stripping things down and bringing it back, I'll give you a sneak peek. Coconut oil is such my favorite thing. I'm like the dad from my big fat Greek wedding with Windex. I'm like that with coconut oil. It's hilarious. I think it's just like, and then one friend was like, oh yeah, just do a little coconut oil, lavender under my arm. So it's like, I guess when you notice you need to change, and you start making the change, and you're working towards the change, and you talk about the change or whatever, you really find so many cool little bits about whatever you're growing through in different ways. And it just is a continuation of opening and opening, even in better ways for you that you didn't even know. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. And then to let you know furthermore about change, I'm growing a little bit too. Hopefully I'll have taken the time today and put this out via YouTube, and I'll have a little YouTube channel where I can go deeper into some of these topics that I want to talk about and things I want to share, and I do believe there's an audience for that. And I love you guys so much. Don't worry, I'll talk more about it later, but that's just where I'm going towards now. And I'll have little videos that are extra special and longer. I do believe that the best things in life are free. So I'll continue with these little Monday Madison messages. But for those that want to get a little bit more in depth, beyond the tip of the iceberg, like it's one thing for me to be like, oh, I handled my childhood traumas. Smile. Well, you want to know how I did that? We should talk about it. I love you guys. Happy Monday. Until next week. Do everything you can, or the least amount that you can, to help your world. But notice the difference and keep loving and helping each other. The biggest, littlest ways are all